It's a new year, and with the start of a new year, people have goals or resolutions to do big things in their lives and in their businesses. You might be finding yourself in this situation where maybe you want to start a business in this new year, or maybe you want to reinvigorate a business that you've owned, but you've kind of let sit on a shelf for a little bit. Or maybe you're just making a new commitment to taking control of your finances in this new year. If that is you in any of those situations, this video is specifically for you. So I have 5 tips for you that are going to help you get on a firm financial footing. And try to say that 3 times fast. Firm financial footing. I think all of us would like the idea of making sure that our finances are in good order and that we're making good decisions going into a new venture, a new business, or restarting something, or maybe just doing better, a little bit better this year than you did last year. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stay tuned. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hannah Smolinski. I am the owner of Clara CFO Group, which is a fractional CFO agency. So yes, we help clients with fractional CFO services, but we also have this YouTube channel where we help all small businesses do better with their business finances. So if you aren't already subscribed to the channel and you are a small business owner or somebody who helps small businesses, we would love to have you here as a subscriber. So let's get right into the tips here. The first one is if you're starting a new business, and I'm going to talk to you like you're starting a new business, but remember that this goes whether you're starting a new business or you already have an existing business. But this is really important to getting a good foundation for your finances. And that is to create a mindset that your business is different from your personal life. Okay, so setting your mindset is step 1, and that's my first tip for you. So when we start a business, and especially when we do services, like maybe we have provided some bookkeeping services for someone here and there, and maybe that was just something you did on the side, but then maybe this year you're deciding, hey, maybe I should actually do this for other people and actually have a bookkeeping business. If that's the case, you want to make sure that you are really thinking about your business as separate from your personal life. So when money comes in, that you're thinking about that as that's the business's money. And when you're spending money, that you're thinking those are business expenses, okay? So first, practice just thinking about these things differently. It's really easy, especially in service-based businesses, like when you get paid for something, if you're not doing it a lot yet, to just kind of put that money into your personal banking account or personal checking account, or think, hey, I've got, $600 coming in, so I can use that to go and pay for my child's piano lessons or something like that, whatever it might be. Or I can go to the grocery store with that money. That might be kind of the mindset that you're in, but to get on a firm financial footing, you're going to want to think separately. If money's coming in because of the business, you need to also think that is business money, I don't touch it yet. Okay, so thinking about it as a separate entity, and that is the business is going to be kind of living and breathing. It's going to be bringing in money, spending money, bringing in money, spending money, and you're going to need to do some things differently for your business to take care of it. So setting your mindset on that separation is tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 is the practical side of that, and that's to actually separate the finances, okay? Business and personal. Do not mix these 2 things. You will get in big trouble, and it will be very difficult to do your taxes, and it will be just a nightmare and a headache if you mix business and personal. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do with the example that I just said, that when you get paid for that bookkeeping job, you put it into your personal checking account and you go buy groceries. Don't do that. If you get paid for something you're doing in your business, that needs to run through your business. That income needs to come into your business account, and then the expenses that you have around your business need to go out of your business account. Okay? And yes, you can bring money over to your personal side of your finances. You can do that through either a paycheck or an owner's draw, but that should be very planned for, and it shouldn't just be, oh, we've got some extra money over here, I'll move it over to my personal, I'll do this, I'll do that. All of that, if you don't have a plan for your finances, it's going to be a problem. And if you don't have some good separation between your business and your personal, it's going to be a huge mess. Just promise that you won't do it for me. And then if you've already commingled your accounts between business and personal, please, this new year, make a goal to get everything separated. Okay, one of the things that you can do to do that is to separate and get a separate business banking account and a separate business credit card. Okay, now I like to say if you're gonna start a new business that you should have a starter pack of financial accounts. Okay, and I would include in the starter pack, if you're brand new, a business checking, a business savings account, and a business credit card. Don't open up 3,000 of them to get all the points and do that, because anyways, to get points, you've got to spend a lot of money, and that's not what we're trying to do, okay? So that would be my starter pack, the checking account, savings account, and credit card. Now, I want to caveat that to say, if you are not good at credit cards, and you'll know whether or not you're good at credit cards by your personal life. If you're the type of person that gets a credit card, racks up a balance, and can't pay it off, don't get a business credit card. You're gonna not set yourself up on a firm financial footing if you do that. So we do not wanna do that. Your personal habits in your personal life, your financial habits that you have in your personal life will leak over to your business. You will be, if you manage your business or your personal finances poorly, you will be managing your business finances poorly. Okay, so if you cannot be trusted to be responsible with a credit card, you need to know yourself and don't get a business credit card. Okay, I would say if you are good with credit cards, you can pay off the balances, you don't rack up interest, and you can be responsible in paying them on time, then get a credit card, because I do like it for the people who can use them responsibly. We just need to know ourselves. I'm not like trying to put any shame on anybody. Just know yourselves and your spending habits and what makes sense for you. You can absolutely run your business on just using a checking account. You can get a debit card that goes straight out of your checking account. And most banks, when you go to open a checking account, they will ask you if you want a savings account as well. So I like to have a savings account where you can sock away money for taxes and you can save money for the future in your business. Okay, so the third tip that I have for you is that you need to set up some way to track your financial results, and you need to track your financial transactions. So the way that you do this is some kind of system. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, that I love QuickBooks as an accounting system to keep track of all the business transactions and make sure that you can compile all that information into financial reports like a profit and loss statement and a balance sheet. And it also makes it much easier when it comes to the end of the year and you need to do taxes. So we really love QuickBooks Online for that. And I would say QuickBooks Online is a fantastic option if you have never had an accounting system and you want to get into an accounting system. That is one of the best places to go. Now, we have an exclusive deal with QuickBooks Online where you can get a free trial for a month, and then you can also get 30% off for the entire year. This is the best deal you can find on the internet. So if you want to get set up with that, make sure to use our code below, and we'll also put it in the description box for an easy link. But we've been working with QuickBooks for multiple years now, and just this is definitely our favorite accounting system. Now, the benefit of having an accounting system is that you get those quick reports. You can run all the reports really easily through the reporting systems. You can keep track of everything that's coming in. You can link that business bank account, the checking account, the savings account, your credit cards. You can link all of those. So all of that financial information is being pulled into a system, and then it gets organized. You can hire a bookkeeper to do that for you, or if you're getting started, you can do it yourself. I have a lot of tutorial videos here on this channel to help you learn how to do bookkeeping. We have a full month of like how to do bookkeeping in your business, which has been really popular, and I'll make sure to link that up here. If you are not big enough where it makes financial sense to get into an accounting system like QBO, QuickBooks Online, there's also other ways that you can do that. So you can just be very organized and keep track of all your transactions, like in a spreadsheet or something like that. You know, sometimes if you really don't have very many transactions, just like looking at your bank accounts, you can hand over your bank statements to your CPA at the end of the year, but I don't like that method. I really don't like that method. What I like is for you as a business owner to have access to looking at your financial results every single month. You can't see that when you look at a bank statement, okay? You can see that when you look at a profit and loss. So my friend Jamie Trull, who's the CPA and also a fellow YouTuber, you may have seen her here on the channel before because she's been on the channel a couple times, and she's also the one who developed our ERTC calculator that we've talked about here on the channel as well. Jamie Trull has developed what a P&L template and dashboard worksheet. So it's an Excel worksheet where you can put in your financial transactions and it will spit out profit and loss information for you and give you lots of charts and graphs. So a dashboard, so you can kind of see where you're spending your money, and it will highlight, you know, certain things for you. So I really like this because it's $49 and it's a one-time purchase. So if you're in a situation where you're like, hey, you know, Hannah, I'm only making $3,000 this year, or maybe it's like less than, I mean, if it's a couple $100, I'm not even sure it makes sense to buy a spreadsheet, but I think that if you're making over $1,000 in a year, you do need to have some way to keep track of all those financial transactions. So I like this option for if you're not quite ready to go into QuickBooks it makes sense to have a spreadsheet like this that you can keep track of everything. Okay, so it's like this, the kind of the baby step before you're ready to go to a QuickBooks Online or something like that. Now, I would say lots of businesses open up and immediately start a QuickBooks account, and I think that is totally great as well. I think, as soon as you can get a handle on your finances, I think, and start it when it's young, I think that is a really great idea, because you're going to get that practice in, and you're going to know like that part of your business is covered and that the information is coming into the system. And, if you need to get help with setting it up, we have videos for getting QuickBooks Online set up. But what I want to say is that there are options to get yourself into an accounting system. Getting in an accounting system will absolutely help you get on that firm financial footing. Okay, I'm testing myself to make sure I can say that over and over again. One quick note about QuickBooks Online: if you want to do that, do not get the self-employed module. I don't even know if they're still selling it anymore. If you use my link, it's not going to be an option there. I would just don't use that, because it never upgrades. So as your business grows and scales, you can't take all of your information from self-employed and move it into anything else. I think it's kind of a garbage product in general. I don't like it. I don't even know if they're selling it anymore. I probably should verify that before I say it, talk about it, but don't use self-employed. Okay, if you see that, just reject it. I actually recommend people to look at, probably if you're just a solopreneur, probably starting at Essentials should give you everything you need. And then if you have inventory, you need to go to Plus. Plus will also give you budgeting tools, so I really like that as well. And then if you have like a really big team, you're going to be wanting to look at Advanced. Okay, but you can look at all of that in the comparison chart on the website. The next tip I have for you is getting into the weeds a little bit on pricing, but I think it's really important to make sure that you do this from the beginning. And that is, when people start a business, they just throw prices on things, especially services. You say, I don't know, like maybe like, will you be able to do it for this amount? And you're just trying to sell whatever you can. And that's fine for up to a certain point where you're like, hey, I'm just trying to test the market. I'm trying to see what people will buy it for. A lot of times what happens is people lowball when they first start a business. They're doing it for as cheap as possible, and people are getting a really great deal. But what happens with that is people get really, used to, especially if it's a recurring service or something, your customers will get used to a low price. And then once you finally realize you can't run a profitable business by doing things at that low price, you will quickly have to raise your prices and potentially get some angry customers or lose customers. And we're fine with that if they're not paying enough to make the business sustainable. But almost always people are not pricing correctly to start at the beginning. And when I mean correctly, I really just mean that they're really factoring in all of the different costs to do the service. So when you are starting out, you also end up, as the business owner, thinking of yourself as free, but you are not free. You need to be making money, and you need to be considering yourself at a reasonable hourly rate. So my tip for you is to make sure you're factoring in your own time at a reasonable rate. Okay, so if you're pricing either a product, how long it took you to make it, pay yourself a reasonable rate. And how you figure that out is, how much would you have to pay somebody else to do it? So if you're making earrings, for example, and you trained your teenage niece to help you with earrings, how much would you have to pay your teenage niece to do that? Now, she's probably going to take longer to do it. You are more professional at doing it. It might take you less time. So, just think of like, what's a reasonable rate for somebody else to do it? For my situation, if I were to be hiring another CFO to come in and step in and do the work that I'm doing, that is a much higher rate of what I would have to pay a CFO to come in and do something versus maybe making jewelry, for example. Depends on the type of jewelry, I'm sure. But I think that this is something that often gets looked over, and business owners think of their labor as free. And don't do that. Do not do that. Put a reasonable hourly rate into your prices. And lastly, my tip for you, and I've got one more bonus tip, so don't leave, is to understand your compliance needs. So when I say compliance, I really mean, where are you going to need to report your taxes? Okay. So we all, if you're in the United States, you're going to have some kind of federal reporting. You're going to have to tell the government how much you're making in your business. Okay. So that accounting system comes in very handy when you need to compile all the information to do a tax return, or hand it over to a CPA or an EA or a tax preparer to do that information. If you have an accounting system, it will make compliance much easier. But we all have federal, but you will also have other potential compliance things that you'll need to do in your business. So it might be a local government, it might be a state government, where you might need to report what your total income is, or you might need to report that you're operating in that, in that location. You probably have some kind of reporting requirements. Now, you've probably already done the legal work of getting a, LLC set up or some type of formation documents set up with your state, but you're also going to have some tax requirements. So figure out what you need to do, call up your local Department of Revenue or go onto the website and say, hey, what do I need to do on my brand new business? A lot of times when you're trying to seek out the information to do it right from the beginning, these organizations have information for you where you can go and figure out what you need to do. And also, usually they have good helplines that will walk you through what your potential requirements might be. You don't want to get 3 years down the road and then realize, oh no, I should have been collecting sales tax this whole time, and now I have this huge sales tax liability that I didn't have. Okay, so sales taxes are a real thing, excise taxes, business and occupation taxes, there's all different types of taxes that you might have to pay. And usually when you're getting started out, it's not a huge amount that you need to pay, but you do need to know where you need to be reporting all your different taxes. So my bonus tip for you as well is to make sure that you are also considering those taxes and saving for them. We have lots of resources around estimating your taxes, specifically from the federal side. So we have videos on saving for your taxes, tips around planning for your estimated taxes, and then we actually have videos on showing you how to calculate what your estimated tax payments will be. Now, if you've always had a job and you're moving into a business, you are going to need to pay taxes in a different way. The taxes aren't just taken out of the payments that you're receiving from clients or customers. So you need to plan for taxes. So I will make sure to also link estimated tax videos below and try to put it up here somewhere as well. That's my little bonus tip for you. So I hope this has all been very helpful for you as you're planning for your new business or recommitting to the business that you already have. I want you to be in the best financial situation that you can possibly be in. And so hopefully this video is helping you along the way. Now, if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. I will make sure to read all of those and respond to as many as I can. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Bye, everyone.